Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy and the security edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to catch the show live, you can catch it on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Twitch, and DLive, co-streaming everywhere. And links are generally available in the description, or head on over to those channels. Find me at Switchedtolinux, and you should find the live streams there. All right, we are going to dive right on in. Yet another case of an Apple AirTag being used as a stalker. This person's like, I didn't want it anywhere near me. How the Apple AirTag became a gift to stalkers. And here's, I think these things need to be banned. Honestly, just ban them. If you are too incompetent to lose your car keys, how do I find my backpack? Don't lose it. Pick it up with you and be conscientious about your surroundings. I know living a responsible life, being conscientious is not really part of modern American society or any society. But do we really need these little stalkable triggers where you can hide them on somebody's car and bags and equipment and stalk them around? And the solution is, well, just download the app. It'll tell you if one's around. Well, I don't want to turn on your Bluetooth crap either. But yeah, so these things need to be banned. They just completely ban them. All right. So it's the size of a 10 pence coin. I guess that's P is pence, my guess. I don't know. But it's a small coin. Size of a coin, I'd say a quarter-ish. Intended to help people find their keys. Instead has facilitated a boom in terrifying behavior. So this person gets a notification because she has an iPhone. I mean, sorry, those of us that don't have iPhones. And, hey, I might have an Android phone, but no, I'm not downloading Google's tracker is near my, the anti-stalking app, which, of course, wants Bluetooth and location services turned on so it can stalk me to tell me if I'm being stalked. No, thank you. I mean, really. Pulled over, didn't know what I was looking at. My phone showed me a map of where I was traveling, a trail of red dots indicating the route I just followed. I think I was in shock. I drove straight to a friend's house, and we searched the car. He emptied the glove compartment, opened the bonnet, checked underneath it, checked behind the plates. Eventually, we found it under the carpet in the back, a tiny gadget the size of a 10 pence piece. I didn't want it anywhere near me. It might blow up. So it's not obvious how it got there. You know what? If you ever find one of these things, just take it, take a hammer to it, and destroy it. Done. Sorry, excuse me, did you use the AirTag? Yeah, I destroyed the thing that was stalking me. Deal with it. But yeah, these things are more problematic. This is a product that is way more problematic. This is literally modern day heroin. If you guys not know the origin of where that drug came from, heroin is the brand name of the product created to get people off of morphine. Didn't work. The problems that come with AirTags are way more problematic than the solutions that come with AirTags. And frankly, if you cannot keep track of your keys, your backpack, and your other belongings, become more conscientious. Maybe a few lessons on losing your $400 smart keys are probably the thing you're going to have to deal with. So anyway, we have all these, and there's all this just alerting people about what it is. And hey, you can download the app. Your Apple device will tell you where it is. The Google device will, you can download the app and, of course, turn on Bluetooth and all this other stuff that you should not have on all the time anyway, all just to find out if some moron is stalking you. Yeah, there you go. Here's the other fun thing. Find it out, figure out who belongs this thing, and stalk him back. That'd be fun. Stalker wars. Don't do that. That would be problematic. All right, Instagram receives a record fine of $400 million for abusing children's data. This is, of course, EU, where all the social media companies are seen as the checkbook. Hey, we're low on money. Just sue another big tech company. Maybe they deserve it, but I don't know. But the Data Protection Commissioner, regulator for in Europe for Meta and other tech giants, has slapped Instagram with a fine of £405 million. Euros, roughly equivalent to $402 million, following an investigation on how the company handled children's data. Investigation started in 2020. DPC found that Instagram had allowed children between the ages of 13 and 17 to operate business accounts that meant their phone numbers and their email addresses were made public, which is a clear violation of their privacy. They also found that some Instagram accounts were owned by children were set as public by default instead of as private. This is what the new law in California California is trying to do. Hey, you got to make sure that for children, everything is as stringent as you get. Here's a thought. Why don't we just make everything on the internet as stringent? Let's go back to the times where you teach people not to use your real name on the internet. Way better that way. And, that would probably solve a lot of the problems society would have. So in response to the fact it was so easy and the defaults and the allowabilities to make children's data public, they were sued $400 million. So, half a day's of income, Mark Zuckerberg will have to skip going into port one day or something on the yacht or something. Or I don't know. Do robots get on the yacht? I don't know. I got a bug. All right. So moving on back over to The Guardian, a Sydney, Australia school is now using fingerprint scanners in toilets in order to track kids and steer off vandalism. So basically, you got to use your fingerprints to track you around. You got to go out to. Gotta go to the potty. What do they call it over there in Australia? Is it the can? Who knows? You gotta scan your fingerprints. They gotta track you around as you're walking through the school. So now they kind of know, who exactly by fingerprint scan is using the toilet when. That's a little creepy. Sounds like something that you might find inside of, I don't know, some pedo lounge or something. Who knows? But Moorebank High School installed the scanners to prevent vandalism and track student movement after consultation with a community focus group. Yeah, I think the community focus group was lacking something. Of course, all the privacy guys are like, you're doing what? You're scanning my children's fingerprints to use the can? Are you kidding me? So in Sydney High School, decision to install fingerprint scanners at the entrance to toilets to track student movements and prevent vandalism has been criticized as unreasonable and disproportionate by a privacy expert. Just a privacy expert. The rest of y'all thought this was an okay idea. I mean, I know over there in US, Australia, you guys don't care quite as much about the privacy stuff, but for the love, people, excuse me, this is slightly less dystopian than doing the facial scan in the Chinese bathrooms to get the exact amount of toilet paper they let you use. Because, if you're using too much toilet paper, you can't use more than a certain amount per day. This was rolled out. We talked about it on the channel a couple years ago. But yeah, you had to go in and do your facial scan and it would give you the appropriate amount of toilet paper and you could not get too much toilet paper. So you better work really well with what you have and hope that you did not have Taco Bell. Hey, at least you had Taco Bell bring some seashells with you. Why not, right? But now they're using this. They're stressing right now. Well, okay, right now it's just the outside toilets, I guess. Okay. Who knows? But anyway, I just think any attaching of your fingerprints to using the bathroom is probably bordering on 1984 dystopian nightmare. And if you don't have a problem with that, I think that you need to check up from the neck up. Just kind of a thought. And on to our final privacy-related story. Police across the U.S. bypass warrants with mass location tracking tool. I talked about this very briefly on the video on the channel on Monday, talking about we do all indeed have something to hide. And this is Project, was it? Clear Fog, I think it was, something fog in it. And what the idea is here is that... Fog Reveal, that's what it was. So the idea here is that police, instead of seeking warrants, they can instead pay $10,000 per year approximately. It's less than that. $9,999 per year for access to the database from all of these data companies that are collecting our app data. It says app data. It says cell tower data, geolocation data, just all sorts of information, all compiled, put together, packaged, and sold back and forth to all these different individual companies. And then the companies are simply selling the data and stuff to the police. Now, we talked about in the past, there are some bills being introduced to make it illegal for any government entity to purchase any form of data that would otherwise bypass a warrant or or purchase data that would require a warrant to otherwise collect. I've not heard anything about that bill since that time, but it is something that people are talking about and working on. But in this case here, they're raising awareness that, hundreds, even thousands of police departments are using Fog Reveal, buying up all sorts of location and other data on just blanket anybody in their town, creating databases so they can search up data should they need to. It's basically a way to do a warrantless geofencing on anything and everything they would like to do, which is extraordinarily unconstitutional. Every police department, everyone in charge of making that decision needs immediately terminated, possibly thrown in jail. For violating and terroristic acts against their citizens. Every database needs immediately nuked. All the companies collecting this need immediately shut down, and then throw all of those people in jail as well. I mean, that's what we need to do. Why do we say this? Because this is such gross and blatant violations of the Constitution directly by the government, aided and abetted by a big private for-profit company that most of you do not even know exists. That is seriously problematic stuff. So that is our privacy section for today. You can help support the channel with our affiliates. Today we are highlighting our store. I have things like this hat and this coffee cup available, t-shirts and all sorts of designs. We have aliens in tinfoil hats. We have cats in tinfoil hats, mouse pads, coffee cups, t-shirts, all sorts of things. This is at shop.switchedtolinux.com. So you can head on over there. Well, guys, let's head on over to our security news, and we're just going to go ahead and go right on to our security news. So, sextortionists are using mobile malware to steal nude videos and contact lists from victims. So, this is one of these cases where they're getting caught up by, it's people kind of already getting a little bit kinky out there online anyway. And with that being said, they're like, hey, download our app and we can communicate better. And then these fools are downloading the app, side-loading it, and then the app is, and they're doing this specifically to do kinky things, but the app is collecting all the contact data, and now they're coming back and demanding money. Otherwise, they're going to pass all the nudes to the contacts that are in your phone. Guys, don't be doing stuff like that on your phone. Don't be doing stuff like that in general, but certainly don't be doing stuff like that on your phone. And certainly do not sideload an app that some unknown person you're sexting with in some foreign country is telling you to install. If you get caught up in this kind of stuff, there is no second warning. You're just dumb. All right? That's kind of what's going on here. TikTok denies a data breach following a leak of user data, but 205 billion records in a 790 gigabyte database leaked online, and data analysts are saying, yeah, this is actually real, but there's TikTok going, oh, no, our data wasn't exposed. Well, somebody's lying, and I'm not too sure I am inclined to agree. TikTok, owned by ByteDance, in bed with a Chinese government. I just don't think so. I think that chances are pretty good that the TikTok data here was indeed breached, and if that is all correct, I believe they said it was emails, passwords, all sorts of things, like basically everything you could get. You know, think of how secure every other Chinese product you get, and now apply that to TikTok. So, you know, probably a lot of issues involved in that. Samsung had a big data breach. I was thinking about this, you know, what information do they have? Well, Samsung phones, you have your special accounts. Even when you want to download software to reflash your Samsung OS back onto your phone, you have to create a Samsung account. So they're scooping up data all over the place. And then it dawned on me, oh crap, Samsung is part of that Google alliance to collect all your health data. So it's possible that health data is involved in here as well, although they did not mention anything about that. What they said, now they want to assure you it did not impact social security numbers or credit card numbers. I mean, Lord forbid that. Instead, it did get pretty much everything else it needed about you. In some cases may have affected information such as name, contact and demographic information, date of birth, product registration information affected for each relevant company may vary, and they are notifying customers about it. So yeah, definitely there was a leak in Samsung, which is problematic. Of course, they're offering this completely useless annualcreditreport.com. Oh, get a free credit report. Credit report monitoring. Guys, credit report monitoring is the most useless garbage known to man. It does nothing. Nothing. Stop proposing this every time somebody's data has been leaked. No, instead, shut down the company, seize all the money, and distribute it widely among everybody involved in the hack, particularly when they did not ask to be involved. Solutions. You see, people take it more seriously and think harder about the data they're collecting. Under what circumstances Samsung need your birthday? Come on, man, I need your birthday. Screw you. There you have it. All right, well, thousands of U.S. taxpayers may have had their information leaked. Oh, joy. The good news about this, if there is good news about the IRS leaking data, it is limited to only about 120,000 people. It was specifically people using a Form 1090-T, which is a specific type of business tax report used for, charities. You know, wasn't there a scandal under one of the presidents about charities and a scandal in the... Oh, yes, there was. Maybe this wasn't a leak. Just a thought. It affects charities, tax-exempt charities, and retirement accounts. But the Form 990-T is what was involved in the breach. So if you file one of those, it's very possible you are one of 120,000 people to be exposed. But don't worry, a handicapped armed IRS agent will come and hunt you down and tell you. Yeah. If you think that that's like some slate or whatever, you haven't seen the IRS training videos. Oh boy, are they a hoot. They should have been in Sillyville. Anyway, Apple is trying to kill passwords. So they want to do away with passwords because how bad these passwords are. Guys, passwords are the best things for you. Just have good passwords and good ways to do it. Of course, everyone's trying to kill the password. So Apple's approach is to use the passphrase. Or key phrase. Passkeys. I get it eventually. It's right here in the subtitle. Passkeys. Basically, the passkey is just something tied to your iPhone account. So, in other words, you have to have your entire identity verified through your Apple account in order to log into anything and everything. But the good news is you won't have to remember any passkeys. You just sign in and then tie it to your biometric data. Yeah, this is a really bad idea. I will keep my usernames and passwords, please. And if you want to allow me to use a YubiKey, I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell you screw off. But this is rolling out in iOS 16, coming out soon, and they will have the passkey option where most functions and password options will be able to either do a 2FA with the passkeys, or in some cases, new accounts will be able to create the account with no password at all, and all you need is all you are going to need is the passkey, which is available only on that. Now, if you happen to need to log into a Windows computer, what are you going to do? There's a good question. But of course, they don't want anybody to do that. They want to get you into the Apple the Apple ecosystem and then lock you in with passkeys that you cannot get outside of your iOS devices. So you will be forever locked into there, or you will have to completely abandon anything and everything that you have. So that is kind of the circumstance and the situation going on there with them attempting to kill the passwords. Basically, this is a one-time token, kind of like the same thing you'd get out of an Authy or what something like a YubiKey would do. Only this is tied explicitly to your Apple ID account through your biometric lock, which we also know that is able to be breached, and there's some problematic things. Well, anyway, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a Subscribe Star page. You can jump on over there, subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. You can jump on over there and help support the channel over there on Subscribestar. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.